Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm back again today with yet another one of the commanders, well, legendary creatures that's upcoming from the Outlaws of Thunder Junction. And today I'm taking a look at Taii Wakeen, Perfect Shot. One of my regulars on my stream, Slays for Days, asked me to have a look at this card, so I had already been thinking about it and I hadn't really got much further than go create the deck list, get on with it, or correct the deck file in MTGO, and then Slays asked for it and I thought, okay, Slays hasn't asked for anything before, so we'll have a look at it. So anyway, for those of you who don't know, Taii Wakeen is red and white for a 2/3 human mercenary. So that's pretty good to start with. And then whenever a source you control deals non-combat damage to a creature equal to that creature's toughness, draw a card. Right, so you've got to get exact damage on the creature. Okay, that could be a little bit complicated, but alright. But then you can pay X and tap it. And if a source you control would deal non-combat damage to a permanent or player this turn, it deals that much damage plus X instead. Right. So, in the simplest form, from my point of view, if something's got toughness 5, and I've got a lightning bolt and a couple of spare mana, I can chuck 2 mana into Taii, tap it, so we're going to add 2 to everything. Lightning bolt the creature, gives it exactly 5 damage, and we draw a card. Right, okay. Interesting though, it's not just creatures that you can do the extra damage to, it's players as well. So, the deck is a little bit of a mismatch from my point of view of having damage going to players and having damage going to creatures. But whatever. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, let me know what you think in the comments, because here is today's deck. Okay, just a reminder, as things stand, I'm using the website I'm not sponsored by or affiliated by in any way, shape or form, MTG Goldfish, to do the deck list on, and we're doing it this way because the cards, as you know, aren't available on MTGO yet, and they're not even out yet, so, you know, this is all super preview stuff from my point of view, and all the decks, you know, all the decks I've done this week are starting point decks, just so we're clear. So, here we go. This is how I think Taii will go. What I've looked at is basically things that do things that cause non-combat damage. So, a lot of the creatures have comes into play effects, and there's a few other little tricks that we could do which could be fun. So, Hearth Flame Duelist starts the game. It's 3 mana lightning bolt basically, but when we get it into play we gain some life because all our instants and sorceries have lifelink. Just move things around for a second while I talk about this one. Miller, Crafter Companion, or Luca, Wayward Bonder. Not a card you see very often at all in Commander from my point of view, from Strixhaven. The Legendary Fox is quite fun because you get to put some loyalty counters on Planeswalkers if you've got the Fox size cast. Or if you cast Luca's side, you get a +1 discard a card, and if you do draw a card, if you decide a creature card, you get to draw 2 cards. You get to return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield for -2, and it gains haste, then you exile it. But it's a -7 I'm really interested in Luca. You get an emblem with whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. Gives you a nice kind of permanent emblem version of what we've got, Terror of the Peaks, that sort of thing. So yeah, Miller's in here. Also, yeah, it's a 2/3 Fox, not great, but a 5 loyalty Planeswalker for 6 mana I can cope with on that side of things. Carrying on, so you can still see the commander. Spike Shot Goblins here because you can tap it to deal damage equal to its power to target creature or player. So ping something for 1 might be useful and draw you a card occasionally, or, you know, 1 red and then whatever you can pay for with Taii to make it even more powerful. Gives you a way of getting the damage in without having to fight. Wildfire Awakener is just fun. I like this card of red-white. It turns up in a lot of my red-white decks. Can convoke it out, get the red elemental tokens. I'm more than happy for that to happen. Also notice if you get a whole load of red elemental tokens, you can pay the X for Taii Wakeen when they can attack, and because they're becoming tapped, they deal 1 damage to target player, or 1 plus whatever you manage to pull in from X, so bear that in mind. Byron Stout Arm is also here. Chuck some of the creatures around. Equal damage equal to the sacrificed creature's power to target player. That's fine. With the X cost of Taii Wakeen, you can get some extra damage in. Fire Main Avenger deals 3 to a creature or 3 to a player, and we gain 3 life. Again, it could be, I think a lot of the creatures in the early game when this will be coming out have 3 toughness in commander, so should be able to get there. Irona's God of Victory is purely here just to give us a bit of a win condition. It makes all creatures you control can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures, so it's kind of semi-menace, I suppose. And then prevent all the attacking damage that will be dealt to attacking creatures we control. Nice little backup win condition here. Taii Wakeen, the Deepest Might, is also here. I won't make the screen bigger for this one, so it turns into the land. But this one is another one. If a red sorcerer you control would deal damage, amount of non-combat damage to a player, less than its power, you deal that much damage instead. Again, quite a nice little thing to have in here. Archangel Avacynth, again, another card that we don't see very often in Commander. However, I wanted to try it out. I haven't played this for years, to be fair, and figuring that putting in this deck would be quite a nice home for it because red, white, and it flips. Comes into play. We can do the flash side of it to make the Archangel Avacynth to give all our creatures indestructible, which is quite nice. And then when another non-angel creature of ours dies, we get to the whole transform thing, and then it deals 3 damage to each other creature and each opponent. However, hopefully, because it's 3 damage to creatures, there'll be a few 3 toughness creatures on the board, and we get to draw a card. Anyway, carrying on from there. Bonehorde Dracosaur, it's a red deck. This is going to turn up. Sorry, still too good to ignore. The Brash Taunter is also here. We haven't really got any way of pumping power up as such. But, we can do the whole fight thing and source of non-combat damage. We can make it do X more. So it gives us repeatable removal with Taii Wakeen in play. Glorybringer just does the exert and haste for 4 damage to a non-dragon creature. And Riona, Fire Dancer. We have a lot of instances of sorceries coming up in a second. You will see them. Get lots of copies of a creature. Have you seen what happens when you get lots of copies of Glorybringer in play? Things get ugly quickly. Taggeth, Talarum Herum also appears, just so we can do a whole repeatable fight if we need to deal with, okay, yes, I agree. We killed something that's got 4 toughness. Tangreth dies as well, but well, whatever. We can use it to take out the small annoying things if we need to. Amethyst Dragon comes in from the Battle at Baldur's Gate set. It's just a nice way of paying 5 mana to deal up divide up 4 damage, and then 6 mana for a flying haste 4/4. Not great stats, but 11 mana for 8 damage. Fairly expensive, but you can do it over a few turns if need be. So bear that in mind. Ancient Copper Dragon is Ancient Copper Dragon. Went with this instead of the usual Dockside Extortionist. We went with the Ancient Copper Dragon just so we had something big at the top end. Burning Sun's Avatar does 3 damage to an opponent and to a creature, and we can do the X very nicely for the comes into play effects. It's non-combat damage. Likewise, Chandra's Incinerator. Whenever a source you control deals non-combat damage to opponents, Chandra's Incinerator deals that much damage to target creature or player or planeswalker that player controls as well. Yeah, people get upset when this is in play. Trust me, been there. Fire Song and Sunspeaker gives all our red instants of sorceries lifelink, and then if we gain any life off our white instants of sorceries, we can deal 3 damage to something. Again, non-combat damage, so Taii Wakeen will trigger. Magus of the Arena just means we can use this to go tap target creature you control and tap target creature of an opponent's choice they or she controls, and then they fight each other. Nice. Especially when you've got things like Realm, Scorcher, Hellkite in the deck as well, so you can ping things around. The only thing Magus of the Arena doesn't really work with is a Chroma. Again, just a card I put in for some laugh. You can take it out and put something more sensible in if you want to. But Vigilance, Black, Red Protection, Haste, Flying, Trample, First Strike. I don't think anyone plays a Chroma that much. It'll surprise people. You'll hit someone for 6 occasionally, and they'll get upset because they can't deal with it. Final card of the creature side, Triplicate Titan. Again, just so we can deal the extra damage. That's fine. Right, couple of Planeswalkers is the next side of it. We've got Chandra Pyromancer to do the +1, to do the 1 damage to target player and 1 damage to up to 1 target creature, which is lovely because we get this into play, tap Taii Wakeen, and we can do lots of much damage we want to. Thank you very much, we'll go with that. And Kotha the Fire Resistance. Admittedly, the first few turns is going to be tapping, using the +2 to go and find mountains, because what you want to do is get the -7 and start doing a second Valakut, because it just makes life so much better for you. The spells are next. We have a lot. There's things you expect, like Fiery Impulse, Lightning Bolt, Shock, you know, a Braid. They're all here, just damage dealers. So hopefully with Taii Wakeen will target a creature and kill them off equal to the exact toughness. But we've got a few X spells that do the same thing. Like Disintegrate, it's a bit old school, but it does what we want it to do. Red and an X, so X is going to be the toughness of the creature we're trying to kill to draw the card. Likewise, Fireball, if you've got a lot of mana flying around, you can do it with a couple of creatures, or you can just shove it all at one creature, your call. Subterranean Tremors is the next one along those lines. Deals X damage to each creature without flying. Now, bear in mind, you can have 2 or 3 creatures or 4 creatures your opponent's control that have the same toughness. You do this for that much damage, and as long as they aren't flying, you'll get to draw a card for each one of them when that equals, you know, whenever a source you control deals combat damage to a creature equal to that creature's toughness, draw a card. Okay then. A Braid I've mentioned. Aurelia's Fury is just a way to get us to get more of an X spell in. Deals X damage divided as you choose amongst any number of target creatures or players. Tap each creature dealt damage this way. Players dealt damage this way can't cast non-creature spells this turn. Right, okay, so it locks everything down. Just ping everything for 1, then attack for lethal. Chandra's Pyrohelix, 2 or 1 damage between 2 targets, depending what you're doing. Very nice if you can split it with Taii Wakeen, because you can do, say you pay 2 for this, do the whole Taii Wakeen thing, put another 5 in. That means you can do 6 to each opponent for 2 if I've got it right, because yeah, it's once if a source you control and you split the target. So yeah, should work, I think. Deadly Ricochet is just a little way of gaining some life and doing some damage to a tapped creature. Fight to the death, an unusual wrath for me, I'll be honest, but we'll be blocking things, and you know, those things then that have been blocked get destroyed. Okay then, we'll go with that. Lightning Helix, you know. Lightning Strike, you know. Twin Bolt, you know, another way of dividing the damage up. Chaos Warp to control the board. Deafening Clarion to basically wipe the board of anything with 3 toughness or less. Jessica's Will and Achroma's Will are both here to give us a little bit of help with the cards and the mana, and then the life gain and basically final strike. Chain Reaction controls the board alongside Blasphemous Act. Fiery Confluence. Yeah, same thing applies, I believe, with Taii Wakeen. We can do 1 damage, 2 damage, and destroy an artifact. And yeah, do the X mana from Taii Wakeen if I've got the reading of it right. If I haven't, please let me know in the comments below and share at me. It's fine. Arcblade also goes into suspend land, does a shock every time it gets played and gets suspended again, which I do like. Cone of Flame also divides damage up. Again, I think, and it is a think, it is a source you control will deal non-combat damage, so you know, even if you're splitting it up, you should get the extra, so it should be fun. If I'm reading the cards right. The artifacts, apart from 1, are all ramps, so Mox Tantalite, Soul Talisman, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Mind Stone, the Medallion, Talisman of Conviction, and Thought Vessel are all here. And the other thing that is a ramp spell, but the only other non-ramp artifact in the deck is Triangle of War. I did this because I wanted to do a bit more fighting. Not sure. This could come out and be Elixir of Immortality, I expect, in my list when I play online. But we'll try a Triangle of War and see if it works or not. Enchantments, you shouldn't be surprised. We've got both the courts. So Embreath is here to give us a knight each turn. Court of Ear just to do some damage each turn, even if we're not the monarch. Virtue of Courage doubles up as a 2 mana shock, and then does the whole if a source you control deals non-combat damage to an opponent, you may exile that many cards from the top of your library. You may play those cards that turn. Nice, thank you. It's a great little combo with Court of Ear, by the way, if you've never Court of Ire and the Virtue, great little combo. Fiery Emancipation and City on Fire triple up the damage. They're both in the deck for that tripling effect. The rest of it is just lands. I didn't do anything too fancy. You know, Valakut's here. The usual selection of lands are here. The only thing that probably is worth pointing out in the deck is Arid Mesa. It's here just because I decided to play it for a change. But that's it. That's my little take on Taii Wakeen, the perfect shot. I think it's got potential. I think this is a starting point. I think you could go down more heavily down the fight route if you wanted to do it that way. If you've got some bigger creatures or give all your creatures protection from everything, that's one way of doing it. I expect there is also another way of doing it with a lot of X spells I've missed, which will make it even more potent. But I really do hope that the ones where you split the damage, you can then do the X thing for, and that will still work, I hope. I may be wrong, but I'm hoping it does work like that. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please hit the subscribe button. Please, please, please. I've gone up to 369 as I record this video today. So yay, thank you for my subscribers. But please help me hit the subscribe button. Help me get to 500. If you want to see me play this deck when it comes out live on MTGO, go and give me a follow. There's a link down below in the description to my Twitch channel. The deck list is there as well if you want to go and look at what I've just been talking through on MTG Goldfish. So for now, oh, it'll come up as saying there's an error with the deck list at the moment, but you can find it by clicking on the link. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed today's video. I'll see you again soon. Bye.